G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the southeast side of the map, playing as the Malians in the colour red. It's Calp. And on the northwest side of the map, playing as the Rus in the colour teal, we got Blade 5555. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We're on EGC's Rocky, I think it's Rocky River, Dried River, something like that. Essentially, this map, I do actually like this map a lot. This is one of the maps, if they added it to ranked, I'd be like, I can get behind this map 100%. Take a look at this, okay? I'll run you through the map. Before we do that, though, have a look at what we got going on right here. It's taking over the meta at this point in time. Every Rus game that I'm watching, it is happening there. Look at the micro coming out from Blade, really nice. Making sure that those villagers aren't gathering up too much wood. So let's have a look at this map. We've got Sacred Site as well as the trade post towards the center of the map. Have a look at this. The trade post is not in the corner. It's tied towards the center. Now, I remember back in the good old days, I used to be a big fan of the trade post being at the back here. I advocated that every map should have the trade post at the back because it would make trade more viable. The problem is, trades become so viable at this point where having the trade post at the front like this is actually a really good thing because it makes it easier to contest this. It means that if you want to get a keep down here, it's going to be much easier for you to do that compared to defending it all the way down here. So I think this is a really nice change, and apart from that, it's just an open map. There's not a whole lot of wood on the map, but obviously a little bit of a divot towards the center, which makes it harder to control the center because you're fighting up against a person who's got more vision of you. So you can see right here we've got Blade, who would be attacking from this angle, and the trebuchet would be firing down the mountainside. Plenty of line of sight there. Let's ride on board with Camp. Let's see how he's doing, because we're barely 2 minutes into this game. Camp has added through plenty of houses onto that pit mine, leaving just a single spot for his mining camp. It could be the mining camp. Actually, I was going to say it could be the mining camp, or it could be his landmark. But I think it's just going to be the mining camp. It just makes a lot more sense for it. All right, so bit of an interesting matchup. Malians versus Rus. Definitely not one we've seen a whole lot of. I think there'd be a couple of interesting things to note. Javelin throwers should do exceedingly well in this matchup, considering horse archers and their power. In addition to that, you've got the Musafati, which is going to be quite strong early on. But I'm curious to see exactly how Blade looks to exploit this matchup and how he plays it. Obviously, we've already seen him go for these huge hunting cabins. 49 gold a minute on the first one, 61 gold on the second one. Wow. Okay. All right. I didn't even know it was possible to get that high. He hasn't even got all of them in. Like, you could have gone one more tree over. Wow, that's crazy. So I think what's interesting here is just the lack of wood. You know, your typical dry Arabia spawn, you've got about, what is it, between 8 and 10 of these kind of larger forests where you can put them on the inside. And we obviously don't see him doing that here. In fact, you don't really see people doing that much on dry Arabia. But they do often sometimes look to exploit it. Maybe put one here, put one on the other side. I like the way that the way people are playing the Rus at the moment is pretty much, oh geez, he got close on that one. I mean, he's still getting pretty close here. He's got enough for the age up, Kremlin going down. So the way people basically play it is it's just like a huge investment at the beginning of the game, and then that's it. And they just kind of leave it. You don't really see them go any more than that. Obviously, you sometimes see like hunting cabins thrown down and whatnot, but for the most part, it just seems to be people throw down this initial investment and then just take all the gold from it. And have a look at Blade's eco at this point in time. It's absolutely crazy. Switching it over to the resources a minute, 164 gold a minute coming through. 55? 61? Where is the rest of the gold coming through for Blade? Because he hasn't been gathering any gold. Oh, of course, he has been killing Gaia, of course. Speaking of Gaia, Blade going to be running across the map right here. Plenty of sheep behind him. He obviously was running a little bit low. It's one of the things that happens with the Rus, because you do spend a bit more time out on the map with your scouts looking to try and pick up some Gaia kills. So it means that you're often very greedy with how you look to bring back your sheep. But we do see the age up coming through now from Calp straight into the stable. So I suspect this is probably going to be our professional scouts opening, which we do often see coming out of the Malians. And this has been something that's been highly rated by even the top level players. I've seen Beastie talking about this before. I know that it's quite a popular opening. So I'm curious exactly how Corp goes about this and whether he looks to go into it. Expect to see a mill drop down shortly. He's got plenty of resources in the bank to go for that professional scouts. The first of the scouts is out. Second scout, third scout. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is it. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. So he's going to be looking to deny the hunt away from the Rus player. Very, very smart decision because obviously the Rus will be looking to expand out here very, very shortly. 2 town centers could be an option for him. He might just go straight to castle. The thing to note, the reason why he wouldn't just be going straight to castle is if we look at Blade's sheep, he's only got 6 sheep. And if a sheep's 250 resources and 6 of them, that's 1,500 resources. Well, that's barely enough to get you to castle edge, and you got to remember, Blade needs to train villagers as well. So it is highly likely we do see him look to expand out over onto this west side, and you can see there's a beautiful spot for a town center right here. But at the same time, there is a looming threat of camp. A minute to go on professional scouts, not too long, and he'll be able to pick those up. So Blade's got a couple of options. Number one, he can try and wall this hunt in. That's definitely my favorite thing to do. You wall the hunt in, and then that just stops it from being taken, because even if you don't wall it in and you put a town center on top of it, 10 villagers here, you will be able to take down the villagers, you'll be able to take down the scouts, but they will reposition the deer, and that is what gets you. That's the annoying part. Militia making some decent connection out here. We're right on board with Kalp as he looks to defend this position. Keep in mind, he's actually got a second expansion coming up over on this east side. Mill down, of course. No double broadaxe just yet. Now the mining camp going to be coming in at the front. So really nice play here from Cal. Other options. He's got a gold vein over here way too far away. So might be looking towards these sort of southern-ish mining camps. Up to 7 warrior scouts now for Cal. And look how quick they move. They move as fast as a horseman. And that TC does indeed go down exactly where we thought it would. Blade doing the right thing here. The problem that he's going to have, there's a knight camping out over here. He could out micro it quite easily. Militia on the defensive could also hurt. He's got the resources for them. Probably a good idea to bring the militia over right now. And we can see exactly what he's doing. The attack numbers just aren't the best for the warrior scouts. And he's in fact not even going to be going for the first hunt. He's going to be looking to pick up the second one. Drops down the deer pack. You can see just how much work he's having to put in here to try and keep this scout alive. Slowly but steadily. Look at him. Look, he's trying to get this around, and Blade's just not letting him. Really well played here. And there's the militia getting called. 71 seconds to go. Expect to see more militia coming through. Second night. Nice defense here from Blade. Jeez, I tell you what, I was thinking like, okay, he's going to go and take this hunt. Blade just says, no, you're not taking any of my hunt. Militia now, moving forward. Now, remember that in addition to these warrior scouts being very quick, they also get very fast, very, very fast health regen. So all of this trading that's happening is going to be great for Cal because he'll be healing up as he returns back to base. The one thing to note is he is returning back to base empty-handed. That's the part that gets me. That is the big part that gets me. All right. As Cal slowly returns back. Tail between leg. As he is going to be starting to pick up his own hunt. Definitely not what he wanted to go for here. He starts to think about his next direction. Does he play for a castle age? Does he stick it out in feudal a little bit longer? A couple of sofa have been built now. Going to be switching into the Donzo as well. And a second mill getting thrown down with cattle ranches. Look at this. Are we returning to the days of the Big Cow landmark? One of my favorite landmarks. I really do like the Big Cow landmark. It's such a cool concept. Allows you to start getting even further ahead on the eco without really investing a lot into villages. You can just play one base off it. That's what I like about it. Blade coming through, looking to spot out exactly what his Malian opponent is. Spots all the units as they begin moving out. Obviously, Kalp would have seen him as well, so he knows. Kalp knows that Blade knows. A little bit of theory of mind right there. Speaking of theory of mind, I tell you what. I've been reading about these new AIs that are popping off. GPT-4. Wow, what an exciting time to be alive, hey? They are some. Whew, that is a kettle of worms right there that I enjoy opening. But we'll talk about it another time because, well, let's just put it this way. They may have discovered theory of mind, but they're still yet to discover theory of Age of Empires, which is why we're here. So they haven't taken our jobs just yet. Now, looking to push through. Picks off a single spearman. Almost picks off a single spearman. I take it back. And Blade looking pretty solid. Only going into the second town center, so we don't see a third town center just yet. Donzo numbers starting to pick up as well. It's interesting that both players going into Cav Spear. Neither going Cav Archer. I guess it obviously also makes sense. And now a second rack's going to get thrown down. Let's take a look over on the other side of the map, and there's the archery rangers coming out. So now starting to move into those double archers. Double archer making a bit more sense for the Rus, just simply because they get that extra 20% on the wood. Also, the enemy units that they're up against have got slightly less armor, so it makes their archers a little bit stronger against the Sofa, rather than the Sofa or the archers of the Malians up against the knights. The other thing to note is that if you get up to enough archers, you can actually flood out the javelin throwers. And at this point, Calp's economy is really starting to take off. Look at what we've got back here. It's interesting how the Malian style has kind of reverted to what it was on release. This is what it was on release. The only difference was you did kind of add a second or even a third TC with the original Malian style. If I remember correctly, it was 2 TC fast castle with the big cow landmark is what people were doing on release. But now it's kind of a more extended feudal age. 1 TC, but still big cow landmark. And now we've got Vils getting pulled as the knights move through. Donzos get their javelins off. Force back the Vils, but just managed to head back home. And now Blade's looking more and more like he might actually think about aging up here. He's got a lot of gold in the bank. Not a whole lot of Vils on gold himself, but I eat my words as Blade drops a blacksmith down and says, actually, Drongo, we're staying in the feudal age, baby. We're staying in the feudal age. That is a great sign. Now, there's not really a greater sign that someone's staying in the feudal age than when you see a blacksmith. That is when somebody is intent on staying in the feudal age. Especially at this point when their production's kind of peaking. You can see the Blade's got plenty of production back here. Struggling a little bit with the population capacity, though, that's for sure. We hear him get population capped multiple times within the space of about 10 seconds, and we got ourselves a fight beginning to unfold. Sofa Warriors on the front line. Donzo's also going to be looking to help out. Archers just teeing off towards the back. Getting huge value here, these archers. Not a lot of them, though. It means the Donzo flood is going to continue pushing forward. Slowly and steadily. Calp is going to be grinding out Blade as he forces him away from his base. And Blade heads back home to reassess the situation and say, maybe it wasn't a good idea pushing in. Now the militia come out. 8 militia. I tell you what, you guys are a little bit late to the party. And I know they say better late than never, but you know what? It probably just would have been better you guys didn't get used here. Had he waited for these militia, I think it might have been a different fight. But unfortunately, he didn't. And so now he's just going to have to throw them away. Which sucks, right? Because at the end of the day, these guys, they're good little damage soakers. They're putting out their own damage. So there's a lot going for you. And now he's used up all of his tickets. Well, not all of them, but he's used up four sets of tickets, I think that was. It was quite a few tickets. Well, the walls are slowly coming up now for Calp on the south side of the map. Making sure that, is that? No, it's not. What is this villager up to? Is he already through? No, he's not already through. Kind of looks like he could be. Oh, he's building the wall. Oh, she was told build the wall and then come around. Now it's making sense. I like the Donzos in this formation. They can all get their javelins off a little bit sooner. Now the militia getting called. And Calp looking for an angle. Horticulture coming through for him. Knights going to look to get their charges on. And the economy for Blade slowly pushing away from Calp. He's up 10 Vils at this point. Oh, beautiful boar snipe. Really well done there. I don't know if that's probably not the right word, snipe, but beautiful boar pull at that point. Really, really nice. Doesn't do too much, though. These knights have got plenty of armor. Now we see those militia moving through. There's the Mustafadi on the front. Watch out. Plenty of archers here. Vils, don't get stalled out. He's able to clean up all the militia. And at the same time, heading up towards that north side. Blade pushing through once again. Getting chased away from the fight. Spears only here in small number. The flank coming through. Blade trying to hold this pocket, but at the same time over from the east side. It definitely seems like Calp has decided now is the go time. All units heading towards that central location. And Blade running for his life right now. Look at him go. Wouldn't you love those militia right now, Blade, hey? And I think that's the hard thing about this landmark is that you have to have a really good understanding of when that fight is going to happen and when your militia need to be there. Because right now, I tell you what, 12 militia, I would be feeling good about myself if I had 12 militia. But I don't, because I'm not playing. Blade's playing. But if I was... Oh, jeez. The numbers here slowly building up for Blade. He's doing a really good job of screening as well. As long as he's able to take out the cavalry, he should be able to break even. The problem is the cavalry numbers are really solid. Look at the Sofa as they continue to push through Spearmen. Also going to be trickled into the front of the fight. Trying to get their spears in on the action. And Blade with a really solid mass. This is the mass that we were talking about earlier when we said if you can get up to enough archers, then you can start talking about two-shotting enemy Sofa. And that's where it starts to get really strong. So Blade finally reaching critical mass. And I tell you what a great time to do it as well when his enemy is on the doorstep. Jeez Louise, Blade. You're leaving it a little bit too close to comfort right there. But well played. Now Cap, gonna be behind on that military count. Is this where Cap just goes ham on Sofa warriors? Indeed it is. He's got 9 in the queue. He had 10 in the queue at one point. How many stables have we got down here? He's got 4 stables, so he's making them like crazy. I'd love to see javelins as well, but we don't actually see any javelins. In fact, do we see any archery ranges? No archery ranges, just a whole bunch of Raxus. So maybe he could go into Musafati? And it looks like that might be what he's doing here. Looking to try and surround the enemy front line. Blade putting some real good distance between these two parties here. And now the front line evaporated. Blade just going to be running out of here, trickling in more units slowly. But definitely going to be counting his lucky stars as he sees all of those cavalry units really starting to build here. And it's interesting to see how heavy these guys are committing to feudal. Because on a larger map like this, there definitely feels like there is room to go Castle Age. But interestingly, we don't see either player look for it, at least not yet. But hold your horses, Drongo. Blade might be having second thoughts about it. Bit of a wild time for him to push right now. Could be just thinking about throwing away all of his units, but veterancy and +2 just around the corner. He's got the option to age up and does the right thing by falling back. This is definitely the right thing for him to do. It's going to be the Abbey of the Trinity. Gets put down in the back of the base. We'll take a look at the relics and see how they're doing. 1 safe relic, 2 safe relics, and then 3 contested relics in the center of the map. Keep in mind there's also those sacred sites that we talked about. Definitely hard to go for a sacred victory on a map like this, where the sacred sites are positioned off towards the edge. It means you've got to be a lot more mobile in the way that you play. But take a look at Calp's economy. He's got a huge economy. He stops making units for 40 seconds, and he's going to have more than enough resources to age up here. And I'm liking the composition from Calp. This is a composition that I've seen do really well. It reminds me a lot of the Holy Roman Empire and the way that they play. Because you've got your knights or horsemen, and then you've got your spears or Landsknecht. And the Musafati somewhat act as that pseudo Landsknecht and allow you, or I guess men at arms as well, they allow you to get up on the front. It's just that full melee combo. Archery range finally coming down. The first archery, third archery range. Okay, he's dropped 3 archery ranges when I wasn't looking. Fair enough. Look at the production though for the Malian player. Kappa's got so much production here. Like, just look at this. This is absolutely crazy when you think about it. 11 production buildings at this point. Now pushing out towards the enemy base. Spots a whole bunch of villagers. Does Blade see it? Blade doesn't see the raid yet. Blade still doesn't see the raid. It's a huge surround! Blade, no! The worker kills is going to go in. Oh my lord. From 0 worker kills up to double digits in the blink of an eye. The consequence of not playing the English. Now, why do I say that? Well, you guys would be familiar. When you play English, you get this bell sound. It goes ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding. You get alerted straight away whenever something comes into your tower's line of sight or your town center's line of sight. It will start doing that. Sometimes it's not even in the line of sight. It's giving you the warning. But it basically tells you, hey, you're getting raided or you're about to get raided. And so that would allow Blade to very easily pull those villagers away. He obviously didn't get to pull them away. Poor guy. Now, even though we're 19 minutes into this game and the age up's about to come through for Calp, I will just mention it because I haven't already. If you're interested in coaching, check out the Patreon. There it is. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can check it out. Plenty of exclusive content out over there. All right, well, Calp ages up. And that wall comes through. You can see the warrior monk moving across the map. Instant wall of lol. Oh, that looked a little bit scary for a moment. That can be a game-ending decision. It very easily could have been. He makes his way back towards the base. And I'm loving these walls. These walls make so much sense. And curiously, he runs to the north instead of running down to the south. I guess he wants to have his option to flank open. Javelin throwers coming through. He's picked up the veterancy on these. +1 also through. Battering ram's going to be coming out. A little bit of a feudal battering ram. Don't mind if I do. Militia moving forward as well. And Blade once again on the offensive. Nice little counter attack here. Looking to pick up the reinforcements. Finds a lot of archers. Cuts off this attack before it even really begins. No more supplies for you, sir. But look at these archers. These archers. I mean, I'd call them out of position. It definitely doesn't seem that they are, but very quickly could be. He's keeping the spears nearby. Now those javelins just outnumbered by an absolute mile. Needs to find a way to get back. Spots out another warrior monk. Takes down, that's 2. Relentless with the sofa warriors. Look at how well he's doing with this. And now pushing forward, realizing that, hold on a minute, there's no spears here. But spears do move forward. He's got these spread out pretty far away. And now from the backside, sofa warriors coming through. Where are the rest of them? Still chasing down reinforcements. Oh, this could be terrible for Blade. Oh, this could be absolutely terrible for Blade. A couple of crossbows mixed in now. He's making his way downtown. He's walking fast. He's trying to get back to his homeland. The problem is, the enemy units are engulfing his front line. All that he's left with are archers. So he's going to have to draw very quickly about where he goes from here. How many militia has he got? He's got 1 supply left on militia. There were multiple times in this game where militia just would have made the difference here. He's been using them very offensively rather than defensively. Look at the Musafati as they continue chasing down this archer mass. He's trying to survive as best he can. Sofa up towards that top side. Going to get caught out by the spears. Doing a pretty decent job there, but he does draw the spears away. A mix of crossbows and archers. Definitely going to be doing a decent job, but all of the wood here just taken out for the moment. Throws down another lumber camp to try and get a bit of a safer position. Blade holding on for dear life once again. The melee composition of the Malians is absolute madness. Let's bring back in the UI so you guys can see what's going on with regard to economies. Blade up by about 16 vils at this point. Not too bad as the siege workshop gets thrown down. It's definitely at this point starting to think about the prospect of a mangonel or 2. I wouldn't mind 1, that's for sure. The Cap definitely looking really solid in this game. We're 22 minutes in and Cap is looking to try and seal this game. He's got the second pit mine. Third one has come up as well. Interestingly, he didn't finish the pit mine off and walled over the top of it. I wonder if that was just to get a little bit of extra space. Actually, you know what? He probably put it down before he put the pit mine there. That's probably it. All right, well, Wall's trying to come up. Blade going to be paying with the villagers' lives for his delay in adding these walls. Obviously, if there's anything you know about me, it's that I love to add in walls very, very soon. Mangonel shot comes off. Nice little split there from Kalp. Immediately, we see him enter into this spread formation. Horseman getting thrown into the mix as well. And Blade coming back to defend the Mangonel, the single Mangonel to rule them all. A couple of Sofa back here. Spear's going to be able to make it in time. Managed to keep it alive. Mangonel shot. It's looking solid, but he's got the spread in, so it's not as much damage as you'd like. The Mangonel lived. Militia get called. We see that there's also a warrior monk somewhere heading out. Really nice defense there from Blade. I tell you what, I'm not gonna be lying to you guys. I thought Blade was dead. I thought Blade was dead multiple times here. I'm like, the mass is just way too big from the Malian player. It's crazy how many units Kalp is able to get out here. Keep in mind, he's on 1 base. This whole time he's on 1 base. But look at the production that he's got. It's a huge amount of production. Slowly eating into his wood resources. Interestingly, the Blade has almost consumed in entirety his first 2 starting forests. A single large forest remains. He's also got a couple of smaller ones that he'll be able to use. Worst case scenario, he can always look to go onto his enemy's side of the map and take theirs. But that's not really the position you want to be in. And now double Mangonel coming out. It's going to make those shots a little bit more impactful. We hear another relic being picked up, so it's going to be a 3-2 split here. Honestly, you wouldn't expect a 3-2 split with the Malians being on the 2. I would have thought a 4-1 split or probably even a 5-0. So Cap doing a really good job in making sure that not all of the relics go over to his opponent. And now Sacred Sight's getting picked up. Cap definitely feeling a lot more at home in this mid game. 25 minutes through, we start pushing the late game, honestly. Obviously, they're not Imperial Age yet, but it definitely starts to feel like the game has developed significantly from those earlier stages. Slowly but steadily, these walls continue coming up across the map, blanketing the map like a patchwork of palisades. That's probably the best way I could describe it to somebody who's visually impaired. Patchwork of palisades. Look, it actually kind of looks like the spaghetti monster. You guys know the flying spaghetti monster? It kind of looks like that's the big blob, and these are his arms. I can see it. Cap is a believer. All right, well, slowly and steadily, Blade begins to push, but remember, he doesn't have much line of sight as he comes up here. Compare that to Cap, who sees everything. He's got the Springles out as well, so with no outposts, no wooden fortresses, nothing to give him that heads up. It's going to make it very tough for him. Now we enter into the cinematic mode, because it's time for us to get it on. Springles looking to try and trade out with each other. Keep your eye on them. He gets 2 shots off on the first one. Second one comes in, says, "Can I have a piece, sir?" He says, "Sure." Gives it to him. Trades off into a random unit. Nice little micro here. Now bringing it forward. Mangonels on the back line. They're going to be kept safe. Firing off towards... Get off my screen, neutralize the Sacred Sight. I can't get rid of it. It's so annoying. I'm trying to get a beautiful picture-perfect moment, and you're just like, neutralize the Sacred Sight, Johnny. Get out of here. Archer numbers really looking good for Blade here. The problem is that front line is pretty much disintegrated. He's going to try his best to defend these Mangonels and still gets good shots in. Look at these Randy Ortons back here RKOing off the top rope. Blade all of a sudden says, actually, Drongo, I was the guy who was going to win all along. That second town center that I made 20 minutes ago, it's finally scaling. I'm finally getting value from it. This is it, baby. But on the defensive, it's going to mean that the Blade doesn't have the advantage here, because all of these units that come out, they're going to be instantaneous on the defense for Cap. So once again, Cap going to be in a solid position. And now slowly... Wait, didn't one of these Sacred Sites get neutralized? Wasn't that what it was all about? Probably not. Probably not. I can't wait for them to get rid of those notifications. They're just so useless. I don't need to be told 43 times in different places that the Sacred Site has been taken. But I'm sure some people do, so, you know, respect. But can I turn them off, please? Thank you. This is starting to feel a little bit like a seesaw. Have you guys noticed every time one player goes to the other player's base, they're repelled? Like, it looks overwhelming. It looked like Blade was going to be victorious here. In fact, he's still up double the population of his enemy, but I can't help but feel like Blade is not going to be able to make this hold. Towards the middle, more fights beginning to break out. And yeah, it definitely seems like Blade's going to have to fall back from here. All it's going to take is one Mangonel, which we haven't seen. There it is. And one Mangonel would be more than capable of dealing with this. It's like, the further you push to the enemy base, the stronger the defender's advantage gets. Who would have thought it? Who would have thought it? All right, Sacred Sight neutralized. Neutralizing, rather, in the north of the map. Archer numbers still looking solid here for Blade. No sign of Springles, which is making me a little bit concerned, because once Cap builds up a lead with Springles, Mangonels, it's going to mean Blade doesn't really have a way to deal with this. Now, of course, you can go into Horseman, which is what he's doing. You kind of need to supplement with Springles, and that's the correct play. So good to see Blade doing that. Look at this lucky sheep. 29 minutes into this game, and this herdable sheep has yet to be eaten. In fact, he taunts the villagers next to him and says, "You guys remember the early game where you guys were all starving under the town center and I was frolicking out here eating dandelions?" That's what they said. Big Mangonel shot down the hill. You'd have to be very brave to push into this position as Blade. I think the only way you'd really get through this is like a treb or something, and oh no. Oh, Cap's gonna do it. Oh, he's gonna slowly wall across the entire map. Oh, this is so cheeky, but I love it. Actually, I remember a game. I don't remember if it was Cap who was the one playing. I've casted a lot of Cap games in my time, which, by the way, check him out over on Twitch TV. twitch.tv/Kaup, I think. I'm not sure exactly what his username is. I'll leave links in the description of where you can watch Kaup and Blade live. But I remember watching a game, it was on Mongolian Heights, and somebody, I don't remember who it was, they made walls like this, but they were stone, and they put trebuchets behind them. And there was like 10 trebs behind it. And you couldn't do anything. You just couldn't, it was impossible. It was disgusting, but it was beautiful in a disgusting way. I was thinking of a joke. If you've played Vice City, and don't be offended because it's artwork. There's a guy on there called Fernando Martinez. And he's like a radio host, and he's known for being like this really, crude, rude radio host. And I don't remember what the context of what I'm about to say was in, but he's like, it's like a beautiful girl. No, what did he say? Like, it's like a fat girl who suddenly loses a lot of weight. Ay, 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 ay. Something like that. And I don't know why I even brought that up. Rewind it 30 seconds and I'll probably say why, but yeah, there you go. Anyway, Fernando Martinez. That by far, that was the best radio station that there was. It had the best music on it. Don't at me. That was... was it Fever? I don't think it was Fever. No, it had to be... It had to be something else. Maybe like a love. It was definitely love orientated, that station. Look at these walls coming up. You know, we often talk about onions. Ay, ay, ay. This is onions right here. Imperial Age comes through. I don't even think we mentioned it. The Imperial Age from Blade is going to start looking for those Imperial upgrades. Bandit arms coming through. Bit of an interesting choice to pull this one out first. Rather than going for something like that, like roller shutter triggers. Definitely the right choice there. That's going to enable him to win these fights. He's holding on. Attempting to get the fight in before the Imperial Age upgrades come through. And Blade is under pressure as the Sofa Warriors look to come in from the north side. Did he go too quick? Did he make the wrong decision? He was pushed out on the enemy side of the map. Imperial Age was just about coming through, and now he's losing his entire army. And you can see Kaup's really put together a huge army here. It's mainly the siege that you've got to worry about. Now the Sacred Site is going to be neutralized inevitably as that keep does go down. Needs to get more units here. Streltsy going to be coming in. Hello. This might be a little bit hard to deal with. Streltsy, but there are javelins. Look at the javelin numbers, in fact. We need mangonels out to deal with these. Springald's moving forward. I'm not sure if they've got their roller shutter triggers through just yet. Let's double check and see. A little bit longer, and he's got them. 5 seconds. Don't engage before the roller shutter triggers. It's not worth it, Blade. It's not worth it. Blade, no. All of the... Oh, God, Blade. No, Blade loses all of the Springalds. He thought he had roller shutter triggers, and how wrong he was. Militia finally going to get caught to the front of the battle. Finally, the defensive militia getting used here from Blade successfully. Look at this defense. Exactly what he needs. Throws away 3 of the 5 Springalds, and Blade is holding on for dear life. There's so many javelins here. I don't think the Streltsy are going to matter. The Mangonel, though, that might change things up a little bit. Let's see how he goes. Randy Orton coming in off the top rope. RKO! It's a big shot. He hits straight through the middle. Doesn't look to take out any units, though. He's going to need a second shot to clean this up. And indeed, he's able to do that. Slowly but steadily, the Springalds of Blade looking to take out enemy Springalds. He's got that extra 12 range, or not extra 12 range, but 12.5 range. And Blade holds. Can you believe this game right now? We've seen so many swings in the defense. It just don't attack anybody, all right? If you don't attack anybody, you're not going to lose to anybody. That's the trick. If you attack, you will lose. This is absurd, the amount of swings that these guys have seen right here. Every single time it happens, I feel like we're going to see somebody lose the game. And yet, we don't. We don't. We're 33 minutes through this game. It's happened probably 6 times at this point. And Blade's obviously feeling really comfortable. He's up 20 vils. He's up 1 relic. And of course, he's down about 20 cows. Hello. How you guys doing? Don't mind me. And now we see the battering rams coming out for Blade. Keep in mind, he's just about to pick up... Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Lightweight beams. Wandering Town. Siege engineering. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ranch. This is the stuff dreams are made of. Now, I feel like the only ram that is better than the Rus ram is the Mongol ram, because you can get the improved upgrades for them. It's like the improved battering ram. He doesn't have the extra health just yet, but this battering ram, I mean, who needs trebuchets when you got friends like these? Look at this guy. Look how pointy that guy is. You wouldn't want to find him in the shower. Whew. Battering ram's moving forward. A lot of vills out here. He was trying to get a nice stone wall in. Look at Look at the disgusting minimap right now. Blade contesting with some real some real difficult walls as they continue coming up. Double Mangonel in the back. Gets off a shot on the front line. Upgrades yet to come through. Elite Horsemen actually have come through. Veteran Spearmen still on the way. And Guriabara are going to be coming down now for Kalp. Let's see if we can spot out that landmark. Where's... Oh, there it is. I don't know why I couldn't see it. So Guriabara are going to be his choice here. Not going to be going for the Fort of the Huntress. Or the Hunt of the Fortress. Sometimes they call it. Guriabara. So this landmark, if I remember correctly, it's still pretty decent. He's going to be able to choose production speed, but you do have to invest in it. Military unit production speed by 50% for 30 seconds. Seems all right. Okay, this push from Blade looks like it's going to end the game. I know I've said that like 7 times, but this one looks like it's it. He's got banded arms on his springalds. He's going to have that extra range. Elite javelin throwers is coming through for Cap. If there's any way he holds it, through the javelin throwers. Reinforcements getting pushed across the map. Battering rams coming through. And Blade might be doing it, ladies and gentlemen. And he does indeed do it. That's going to be it. Cap realizes, you know what? I shouldn't have pushed that last time. I shouldn't have done it, Drongo. I shouldn't have done it. I've been pushing all game here. And I just should have stopped pushing. Anyway, fellas, go check out EGC TV. Go check out Cap. Go check out Blade. Go check out Patreon. Go check out everything. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.